Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today I'll be talking about the Canon VT Deluxe. It is a Leica screw mount camera, sometimes called an LTM or L39. The lens does screw on and off. Right now I have the Canon 50mm 1.4 lens. I highly recommend. Not a lot of money, but great lens. Some of the basic features of this camera, it doesn't have frame lines. So actually it has this little dial, you can see it, and it has a window for a 50mm and a 35mm and an RF window, which is like a magnifier window that allows you to zoom in on what you are trying to focus on. So instead of the frame line changing within a single window, when you change this, I'll try to get some video of it, it actually changes the viewfinder from a 50mm to a 35mm. Also, a cool feature that this camera had that I haven't really seen on any other camera, it has, if you use an external viewfinder, it does have parallax correction while you're focusing. So I don't know if you can see in the video, but there's a little ball on top that moves up and down as you focus. And that will give you parallax correction when you're using wider angle lenses at closer distances, so you can get your framing right. The actual viewfinder does not have parallax correction, so you would have to use your best judgment. The biggest feature of this camera, and why it's the VT, the T stands for trigger, is that the film advance is a trigger. So you pull the trigger and that advances the film and cocks the shutter all in one, and it shoots from there. The reason I like this camera so much is that I'm a left eye shooter. So when I shoot, usually the winder is here. I wind it, I put the camera up to my eye, I shoot. If I want to shoot another frame, I have to remove the camera from my eye, and that isn't always convenient, especially when trying to do street photography or something, capture sequences. Removing the camera from your eye is an inconvenience. This camera was kind of made to be able to cock and shoot very easily and very quickly, so you can fire off frames pretty quickly. They stole this from, again, I mean, most of these cameras are Leica copies, but the Leica was an attachment that you put on the bottom of your camera, and this one is built in. It has a regular film loading system, regular film door, nothing fancy about the loading. It has shutter speeds up to 1,000th of a second. It does have the split shutter, so the slow shutter speeds are separate from the fast ones. On this one, you set it to 30, and you adjust the slow shutter speeds on the front of the camera. So the slow shutter speeds are from 1/30th all the way down to 1 second, and it does have a T mode. But it doesn't have a hot shoe. It has a flash sync port. The viewfinder on this is not the greatest, but I do love the feature of turning this dial and being able to zoom in to get a closer magnified view of what you're going to be shooting, especially for glasses wearers, contact wearers, that sometimes it's harder to see in some of the smaller viewfinders without your glasses or with contacts. So this camera came out in, I believe, 1957, and they replaced it with the Canon VI. 1 year later, in 1958, they replaced it with the Canon VIT, and they made a Canon VIL, which had a lever advance. Another cool feature, if you don't want to use a lever, you press this little button here, and this pops up, and it just becomes a regular twist advance. So you just twist it on, and it becomes a regular twist advance. You press this button again, and that goes down, and now you can activate it through the lever. Very cool camera, something to check out as a Leica alternative as the Leicas become more and more expensive as supply goes down. These are around $200 to $250 for the body in good condition. Well worth looking into. Yeah, if you have any comments or questions on this camera, I've had it for a while. I like shooting it. I enjoy shooting it, especially as a left eye shooter, because I don't have to take the camera away from my eye to advance the film. Yeah, and that's a wrap. Please like and subscribe to catch me when I do more videos. Have a good one, guys.